honey.
Why are you texting me when I'm sitting right next to you?
We're on a bus. I don't want anyone else to hear what I have to say.
What do you have to say?
About the inheritance.
You want to talk about that now?
Well, even after taxes, it'll be $1 million. $1 million! I'm so shocked that I can't keep cool.
Well, that's true.
I didn't know that the price of that piece of land would be worth that much after that resort was built near it. Plus, it was sold at a really good time.
Well, it seemed like no one had touched the money from the land for a long time.
Having that much money is insane! Sorry, I know it really isn't appropriate to talk about the money so soon after your father died. But I can't seem to get it out of my head.
I understand. Even though I'm the one that inherited it, I still can't wrap my head around it.
I'm going to calm down before we reach home, but I want to hear what you're thinking now. So, that's why I'm texting you instead.
Fine. We can talk about it now.
Okay. I'm just going to go straight to it. Do you have plans for the money?
No, not yet. I got that money from losing my father. So I don't want to just waste it on just anything.
Yeah, I see that.
I don't think we should tell anyone. Not right now, anyway. I think it will cause too much trouble.
You mean keep it a secret for Michelle and Travis?
Yeah, just for now. Michelle is studying for her SATs, and next year it'll be Travis's turn. I don't want them to stop studying. I think there will be a better time to talk about it in the future.
True. Dad, I know you're working, but...
What is it, Michelle?
Can we talk for a bit?
Yeah, I'm on my way home, but if it can't wait, then go ahead. What do you have to say?
When I was walking home from school...
Don't you have softball practice today?
No, the coach canceled practice today. I was on my way to the mall and...
And what?
I saw Mom in a cafe, holding hands with some man.
Huh?
I could only get a picture of the back of the man's head. Do you want to see?
Show me.
You can't see it very well in the picture, but they were holding hands and looking into each other's eyes. They also kissed.
Really?
A friend who was with me tried to get close and listen to what they were saying. She said that they were talking about someone's inheritance.
Inheritance?
Were they talking about the money from Grandpa?
Most likely. I'll tell you all about it a little later.
Okay.
To be honest, I thought your mom has been acting really suspicious lately.
Yeah, me too.
You too?
As well as Travis. I think he knows.
What the hell is Yvette thinking? Look at what she's putting you through.
I'm starting to hate Mom.
Michelle, children shouldn't see their parent like that. I'm sorry that you witnessed her infidelity.
You shouldn't be the one apologizing, Dad.
Anyway, thank you for telling me, honey.
What do we do?
I am still trying to get my thoughts straight, but I think I need to start gathering proof.
Right.
Don't tell anyone.
Okay, got it. Dad?
Yes, baby?
I'm 100% on your side.
Thank you, princess. That means a lot to me.
Sorry for not informing you earlier, honey. I'm staying at a friend's house tonight, too.
Friend's house?
Yeah, you know, the girlfriend that I'm always with.
Oh, That girl that you met at the gym half a year ago.
Yes, her. She's been going through a lot of things lately, and I think it's better to stay by her side for a while.
I see.
Actually, I think it would be even better if I stayed with her more often. Michelle can take care of the housework while I'm gone.
That's not going to work anymore.
What do you mean?
I know that you're having an affair.
What?
Not just me. The kids have figured it out as well. You have gotten bad at hiding it. Even the detective said that you aren't even trying anymore.
You hired a detective? Yeah, that's right. I have been cheating.
You're being honest. Didn't expect that. You've also thought about divorce?
Well, you caught me. Rather than fighting about it, might as well cut to the chase. I'm more than happy to get a divorce.
You've changed.
What?
I don't know what you're thinking, but nothing good is going to come from this affair or divorce.
Just hurry up and get started with the divorce. Actually, I have the papers already in my bedroom drawer. I'll go get my stuff when you're not home. Just sign the papers. I would prefer to get it all done within the week.
Is that what you want?
Yep.
You're just going to stay with the man that you're cheating with.
Since you hired a detective, you already know who he is, right?
Yeah, I had him followed.
Then I don't have to tell you the details. Once the divorce settlement has been reached and the money is ready, tell him. You got that?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay then. Hey! Answer my call!
Why?
What the hell do you think you're doing? Why do I have to pay for the divorce settlement? And why did you sue my boyfriend?
Ah, I see that you were served the papers.
Is this a joke? What is this? I need to pay alimony, and you're suing for cheating? I can't touch the inheritance money? I also need to pay for child support. What the hell is all this?
You have a problem with that?
Of course I do! Alimony is paid by the person who caused the divorce.
That's right. You caused the divorce.
What are you saying? You caused me to cheat. You couldn't keep me interested in our relationship.
What?
And the inheritance. You need to split half of it with me because I was your wife. You can't keep it all to yourself. As a man, aren't you embarrassed?
We already divided half our assets. You already used most of yours. You only have $300 in your bank account. With alimony and child support, there won't be much left of the shared property.
What? What do you mean, $300? Did you hit your head or something?
Hit my head?
You inherited $1 million. You got that when we were still married, so I get half. That means I'm entitled to $500,000.
You got that wrong. Just to get things straight, the reason you've done all this is to get that money, right?
That's right. I waited for you to say that you wanted a divorce, so that I can start a new life with my boyfriend.
Did you not realize?
Realize what?
Alimony is paid by the person who cheated, not the person that was cheated on. That's why you are the one that has to pay it.
Huh?
This is what I learned from my attorney. Inheritance money is not considered marital property.
No way.
You can contact my lawyer. His info is written on the papers you were served. If you don't believe me, ask him.
What about child support? I get that, right?
If you get custody of Michelle and Travis.
So, I'll be paid child support?
I don't think so.
Too bad for you. We all know that mothers always get custody.
That might be true sometimes.
Yeah. I won't take anything less than $200,000 for the both of them.
Did you forget how old your children are?
What does that have to do with anything?
Michelle is 18, and Travis is 17. Michelle is already an adult, and Travis can decide on his own who he wants to live with.
He shouldn't have a choice.
By the way, they both said that they want to stay with me.
They wouldn't say that. They prefer their mother over their father. If you don't understand that, you failed as a father. I'll be getting custody.
Like I said, that's not happening.
Why?
Michelle saw you with your lover.
What?
Travis also knew that you were cheating, even though he didn't see it for himself. Do you think they would follow their cheating mother?
You don't know that. You need to ask them who they'd rather be with.
They already decided to block all your calls.
No!
They don't want to talk to you or even look at you.
Wait.
Are you finally getting the picture?
I don't get any money at all?
That's obvious. Like I've said already, you'll be the one paying me.
Just hang on.
You can read the details in the papers that you got.
Wait. Please.
Whatever you need to say, you can say it to my lawyer.
Stop this.
I'm going to block you.
Hey! Answer my call!
Why?
What the hell do you think you're doing? Why do I have to pay for the divorce settlement? And why did you sue my boyfriend?
Ah, I see that you were served the papers.
Is this a joke? What is this? I need to pay alimony, and you're suing for cheating? I can't touch the inheritance money? I also need to pay for child support. What the hell is all this?
You have a problem with that?
Of course I do. Alimony is paid by the person who caused the divorce.
That's right. You caused the divorce.
What are you saying? You caused me to cheat. You couldn't keep me interested in our relationship.
What?
And the inheritance. You need to split half of it with me because I was your wife. You can't keep it all to yourself. As a man, aren't you embarrassed?
We already divided half our assets. You already used most of yours. You only have $300 in your bank account. With alimony and child support, there won't be much left of the shared property.
What? What do you mean, $300? Did you hit your head or something?
Hit my head?
You inherited $1 million. You got that when we were still married, so I get half. That means I'm entitled to $500,000.
You got that wrong. Just to get things straight, the reason you've done all this is to get that money, right?
That's right. I waited for you to say that you wanted a divorce, so that I can start a new life with my boyfriend.
Did you not realize?
Realize what?
Alimony is paid by the person who cheated, not the person that was cheated on. That's why you are the one that has to pay it.
Huh?
This is what I learned from my attorney. Inheritance money is not considered marital property.
No way.
You can contact my lawyer. His info is written on the papers you were served. If you don't believe me, ask him.
What about child support? I get that, right?
If you get custody of Michelle and Travis.
So, I'll be paid child support?
I don't think so.
Too bad for you. We all know that mothers always get custody.
That might be true sometimes.
Yeah. I won't take anything less than $200,000 for the both of them.
Did you forget how old your children are?
What does that have to do with anything?
Michelle is 18, and Travis is 17. Michelle is already an adult, and Travis can decide on his own who he wants to live with.
He shouldn't have a choice.
By the way, they both said that they want to stay with me.
They wouldn't say that. They prefer their mother over their father. If you don't understand that, you failed as a father. I'll be getting custody.
Like I said, that's not happening.
Why?
Michelle saw you with your lover.
What?
Travis also knew that you were cheating, even though he didn't see it for himself. Do you think they would follow their cheating mother?
You don't know that. You need to ask them who they'd rather be with.
They already decided to block all your calls.
No!
They don't want to talk to you or even look at you.
Wait.
Are you finally getting the picture?
I don't get any money at all?
That's obvious. Like I've said already, you'll be the one paying me.
Just hang on.
You can read the details in the papers that you got.
Wait. Please.
Whatever you need to say, you can say it to my lawyer.
Stop this.
I'm going to block you. My ex-wife cheated on me with her ex-boyfriend, who was also married. They schemed together to try and get their greedy hands on my inheritance. They kept their affair out in the open to try to force the divorce so they'd get half the money. Their ignorance of the law is actually comedic, and that was the cause of their tragedy. She scraped together all she could to pay for the alimony and the child support. Of course, her boyfriend from his wife also got a divorce, and he had to pay for that alimony as well. They say money changes people. It definitely changed her life of peace to a hell now that she's tens of thousands of dollars in debt. Now they're living in a one-room, run-down apartment, stringing together as many part-time jobs as they can. I, on the other hand, have been enjoying this new chapter of my life with my daughter and son. We look forward to seeing what the future holds for us.
Hannah, when are you going to be quitting that job of yours? What's that? Hello, Sandy. Why are you asking me when I'll quit my job? I'm sure you're just working that job so that you have enough money to spend all you want on fancy things, right? Not really. I'm just working because I want to save money for the future, and I also happen to really like the kind of work I do. But it's not okay for a woman like you to be working, so quit that job at once. It's not okay for a woman like me? Right now is the best time for my husband and I to both be working at the same time. I'm not saying that I don't want to become a housewife at some point. But Robin and I both talked about this before we got married, and we decided it would be best that we both work full-time jobs so that we have enough money for the future. That's why at this point in time, it's not an option for me to be quitting my job. Hannah, oh, listen to me. The way you're speaking to me right there is really showing me how self-centered you really are deep down. Self-centered? Do you have a problem with the money your husband is making, and that's why you're choosing to work still? I never said I had any issues with his income. Well, then please quit that job. Quit that job right now and become his housewife. I cannot do that right now. If you go against my word here, you are making yourself look worse and worse. So you're telling me the only way to look good as Robin's wife is to become a housewife? That's right. Now stop asking me questions to the obvious. By the way, have you talked with Robin himself about how you view me working this job? I don't have to go and talk with him about it because he already knows. That young man came from a house where his mother was a housewife and took care of the home. So he knows exactly what I want out of his wife, and he expects you to become that way. Right now, he should be thinking about all the things he could be having you do for him as his housewife. I'm sure of that. You think so? Well, no matter what else you have to say to me, I'm going to have a word with Robin before making any decisions. Please allow me some time to talk with him.
Hannah? I just finished up work and I'm on the bus home.
I hope you had a good day today, Robin.
Hey, listen. Did you really have a conversation with my mom today about quitting your job?
What?
When I had a look at my phone after work, I saw that my mom had texted me saying that she spoke to you about it.
Wait. We did talk about it, but it was a one-sided conversation with her just telling me over and over to quit my job. I was trying to get her to understand that you and I both agreed to work, but she just wouldn't have it. So in the end, I said to her that I'd have to speak with you before making any final decisions.
What the heck? So that's what happened there. She was making it seem as though you were going to quit your job and there was no changing your mind about it. And that led me to wondering about what had happened that made you change your mind about everything so suddenly.
Sorry if this got you all worked up in any way. I had started to talk with your mom while I was on break at work, but I couldn't speak with her for very long because it was towards the end of my break. So I was going to have a word with you at home first and then get back in touch again with her to talk.
But why did my mom end up sending me this text making it sound as though you're going to quit?
Because your mom seems to think that you want the same thing as her, that being me quitting my job and becoming your housewife.
What?
When she said that to me, I told her that I'd have to talk with you first before deciding what to do next. She must be expecting you to think the same thing as her and say no to me working a job any longer. And that's why she made it seem as though I already was going to quit. Understand?
Yeah, I understand. But I can't believe this. Can you show me those texts from her later on? If it seems things aren't going to get any better, I'm going to have to get my dad involved and have him take care of my mom.
Do you feel as though your mom is more serious about this than I thought?
That depends on what she's said to you. If I have the chance, I want my dad to take a look at those texts from her as well.
Your dad as well?
Recently, my dad has seemed pretty worried about something. I still haven't really talked with him about anything, but the last time I was over at my parents' house, he had this expression on his face like he had something he wanted to tell me.
I see. I'll have all these messages from her printed out so that you can take them over to your dad.
Thank you, Hannah. That would help me out a lot. Hannah? I had a talk with my dad.
Hey, Robin. How did that talk go?
This is what my dad had to say about the whole you and I both working jobs while being husband and wife thing. He says that the only reason why my mom would be so against it is because when she married my dad, she was very young and never had a chance to start working. She kind of forced his hand in letting her become a housewife. But that was only possible because he received a promotion around that time and made decent money. Had my dad been closer to my mom's age when getting married, she most definitely would have been working a job as well.
Now that you mention it, your mom never really worked anywhere before she became a housewife, right?
That's what it sounds like. I've even heard that she never worked a part-time job before.
I see. I have something to say, by the way. I'm not saying I want to quit my job or anything, but I've thought of something.
And that is?
It's about how I work from here on out.
You're bringing back up what you and I talked about a while back.
So you remember that then?
Well, of course I do. I think what you have in mind is totally fine. Things have only become more stable since then, and since that's something you've always had on your mind, I think this is the perfect time for it.
Thank you, Robin.
Anyway, my dad thinks Mom is very serious about having you quit your job and become a housewife. When I get home later, we can talk more about that in detail. I'll make sure to be home when you get home from work.
All right, sounds good. Hannah, have you still not quit your job yet? What? This is about what we had talked about 2 weeks ago. Didn't you say you were going to talk with Robin about it? He thinks the exact same thing as I do on this subject, and that means he should have told you that if you don't quit your job soon, he's going to divorce you. You really think so? Well, I wouldn't want to be divorced, so I'm going to go ahead and quit my company job. Good. Oh, thank you for going ahead and doing that. And from now on, don't you ever go against my word again. But consider this the end of your monthly allowance from us. What? What are you talking about? What allowance?
Mom, allow me to explain this monthly allowance that had just been brought up to you.
Robin, tell me right now what Hannah was talking about.
A little while ago, I was talking with Dad when he told me that things were not going too well at your guys' house, and he asked for our help. So, myself and Hannah decided that starting this month, we'd be sending him $700 a month in order to help out with your guys' financial situation there.
I never heard about any of that.
Dad told me he talked with you about it, but you kept dozing off and acting like he wasn't being serious.
But why? Why would he need...
Because you and all your terrible spending habits have been destroying all the money Dad has worked tirelessly to save up.
What?
Dad had said that his package from the company he'd been with was pretty large, and that he also would be getting retirement funds every year thereafter. And yes, I understand that he was making a decent living in that company, and at the time he was working, he could afford to deal with your spending. But now that he's retired, there isn't that constant flow of money anymore, and all he has are his savings and his retirement. Yet you never listened to him when he spoke to you about cutting back on spending all his money, and now things have gotten worse. Dad had come to us with great shame because he felt embarrassed to be asking his son and his son's wife for financial help.
But he should still have a lot of other money in his retirement funds.
And that was all money he wanted to keep around until you guys both became really old and needed the money for medical bills and such. But ever since he retired from his job, he's watched as that money slowly started to drain away at your hands.
What?
Dad had showed me all of his accounts and the transaction history for all of them. And from what I could tell, the credit card transactions were quite frequent, and taking more out of his accounts than he had. When you think about the kind of money one would want as they're in the later stages of their life, what remains in there is too small of an amount.
Oh, there's no way.
To be honest, I think Dad has been too kind to you. If he'd really wanted to stop you from spending all that money, he could have shut off all your credit cards or asked the bank to change his PIN number. There were plenty of things he could have done to stop you, but he didn't do anything and had to come out to his son and son's wife to ask for help. That's why I went ahead and told him. I went ahead and told him that he needed to get a grip on his wife because there should be no reason you're telling my wife not to work a job when it's her job that's giving you guys money. With just my income alone, Hannah and I would be living on the edge, just barely having enough to play with. But if I had to start sending you guys $700 as well, I wouldn't be able to support myself and Hannah anymore. And I'm not kidding when I say that either. Because we wouldn't only not be able to save any money on my income then, but we literally would not be able to buy food or pay all the house's bills. Do you understand what I'm saying, Mom? Because I had to go and tell Dad that already.
What?
When I said that to him, he was shocked. He had no idea that you were trying to get Hannah to quit her job that badly. Then I went and showed him all the messages you were sending to Hannah a while back.
What? You went and showed him all those messages?
Yes, and even the messages you were sending her just a second ago.
Wait, does that mean he's with you right now?
Yup. And now that he's seen so much of what you've done, he's finally come around to understanding just how badly he's spoiled you. And that's why he's telling me right now that we don't have to send an allowance after all.
What?
Therefore, if you don't stop those bad spending habits of yours, there will be hell to pay. And Dad most definitely will not be helping you there.
Hell to pay?
You should understand more than anyone what I mean by that. All I have left to say is that you'd better start thinking about a way to stop those bad habits of yours, or else...
My bad habits?
That's right. I don't want you whining to Hannah or myself later about her not leaving her job like you'd been asking. So I'll let you know this now. Hannah really has gone and quit her company job.
What?
But that doesn't mean she'll be coming home to be my housewife. Hannah had been trying to run her own side hustle for a while now, but wasn't making a whole lot of money off it, and so she had to keep with her company job. But since it's been a while now and she's saved up a lot of money from her company job, she can now leave that job and work full-time doing the side hustle.
She had a side hustle? How much is she making now?
Ever since she started to go big with that side hustle, she's been making more than me.
What was that? She's making more than her own husband.
Are you aware now why her and I decided that we'd both continue to work even after getting married?
Are you really okay with her making more than you? Do you know what others will start to say about you when they hear that you have to have your wife working as well and making more than you to live?
I'm not sure where you've been getting your news from, Mom, but in this day and age, it's normal for married couples to both be working. I think you should be ridiculed more than anything else for saying something like that.
But...
Dad is getting ready to head back home now. You'd better be all ears for what he has to say.
Robin! Your father's gone and divorced me!
Right. I heard about that already. He yelled at you saying he'd had enough, right? And I thought you had finally learned your lesson a couple of days ago. You bought 3 neckties online, each costing $1,000?
Yeah, that's right. I was told to fix my bad spending habits, right? So I thought about them for a bit, and that's when I thought to myself, what you all meant is for me to spend a little bit more on your father from now on. So I was thinking something useful, like a necktie.
Something useful like a necktie? Aren't you aware that Dad is retired now and won't really be using things like neckties anymore? Jesus Christ, Mom. That wasn't even what Dad and I meant when we told you to rethink your spending habits.
What? That wasn't what you both meant?
I have no idea what to do with you anymore.
Then what did you both mean?
Dad wanted you to think of all that by yourself with the hopes you'd figure it out. So I'm not going to give you the answer.
Robin!
The divorce has already happened, right? Well then, this is the perfect time for us to cut ties as well.
Why would you want that?
Because I want to protect my wife.
Why do you think I'd be of any danger to her?
There have already been plenty of reasons as to why, so stop asking.
What are you talking about, Robin?
Just think about it. Anyway, goodbye forever.
Robin! My father-in-law took all the credit cards he had given Sandy away from her and was going to watch and see if that helped with her poor spending habits. However, just 2 days after doing so, 3 neckties arrived in the mail that she had ordered online with his saved credit card information. She had all of those credit cards saved to her phone and on all of those online stores and could access them at any time. Realizing that there was really no helping the woman, he went and had her sign the divorce papers before taking them to the courthouse all in the same day. He made sure to contact a moving company to get all of his things from the house and is now living with Robin and I at our place. He told us that he'd have the house sold soon and would use that money, along with whatever he had left in his savings, to move someplace else. But neither Robin or I want him living on his own, so we've told him to sell the house and use the money on things he wants while staying with us. And by the way, when I say that he came to live in our house, he did so without ever telling Sandy anything about what he was doing or where he was going. And so when Sandy tried to go and find him, she was not able to find her answer of where he had moved to. We all still feared that at some point she'd learn his whereabouts, and so we called Sandy's little brother, told him about what all had happened, and the next day he was at her house taking her away to go work for his company. Right now we've been told that she's working a 9-to-5 at her little brother's call center and living at home with him and his wife while crying and whining all the time. She is planning on moving out of there soon. When that happens, I think even her brother will cut ties to her, putting an end to her reign of terror within our families. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.